Welcome back, everybody, to the Arizona Diamondbacks franchise here on MLB The Show 19. As today, we have hit the trade deadline portion of the season, and our D-backs are buyers, 67 and 45. Let's take a look at the stats real quickly for the boys. Look at Jake Lamb. His average has gone up to about 310. He's had a very good month of July contact-wise, and he's really put his name in the MVP conversation. And overall, I don't really think we're going to make any changes to the lineup. But the pitching rotation, we could see some moves, maybe adding another starter, and certainly another arm in the bullpen, as there are some relievers, most notably Lucius Summers and Mickey Smythe, the two rookies who have not been doing too hot this year. 6.89 ERA for Summers. Smythe's is noticeably better at 4.23, so most of the blame should go to Summers, but neither of them have been particularly good this season, so bullpen is definitely going to be a spot we're looking at. And we want to take a quick look at the standings because this is our opportunity to see who are some of the bad selling teams out there. You got the Astros, 17 games under 500. That is a huge surprise to me, and they certainly have some talent who we could look at acquiring. I don't expect to get Jose Altuve or Alex Bregman on this team, but someone who is good could end up heading to Arizona. So we're going to look at Blake Snell first, and he's excellent, but the problem is he's too good. I can't see Tampa Bay willing to trade him unless Arizona gives a king's ransom. And then an interesting name, Michael Fulmer, channel legend from last year's Tigers franchise. Do we bring him back to the channel? As the Tigers have obviously not been too good. Then looking at the Astro rotation, no one who really pops out. Freddie Peralta's only 24, but he hasn't really had a good year this year, so no one who I could see Arizona considering. Now moving on to the NL, you got guys like Aaron Nola. He has been very consistent and very good for the past few years. And then the Cardinals have a few guys who Arizona could look at. Jack Flaherty, probably a little bit too good. Miles Mikolas is a perfect example. He's been incredible this year. Sub-1 whip. He's still a good player. He probably won't be that hard to get considering he's 32. Another guy I want to look at is Joe Musgrove from the Pirates. Pittsburgh has a few guys. Jameson Taillon, Trevor Richards. And then, now looking at the bullpen, here's Reyes Maranta from the division rival Giants. Yes, they're in the NL West, but he's young and he's pretty good. There's also Trevor Hildenberger from the Twins, who's been incredible this season on a non-contender, I would say, in Minnesota. And then going back to the Phillies, they have a few young guys in that bullpen, but the one who pops out to me is Sir Anthony Dominguez. This year has not been kind to him. He's overall been a pretty good pitcher throughout his career. So, first things first, Reyes Maranta is headed to Arizona in exchange for 3 prospects, Aaron Byers, Jeffrey Baez, and Alek Thomas. Thomas is definitely the best of the group, very talented young center fielder, and the other two are mostly throw-ins. So, he's definitely Arizona's biggest loss, but the Diamondbacks have so much talent in the outfield already that it's not too big of a deal. And then here's Jarred Kelenic. He has been traded about 4 times in his career. The Diamondbacks got him off of waivers last year, and here they are going to trade him along with Braden Shipley and Jay Weldon to the Pirates for Joe Musgrove. I was not expecting Arizona to make a big deal like this, trading away a premier prospect like Jarred Kelenic, but they're going to pull the trigger here on Musgrove, adding another starter for rotation, rather than choosing between John Duplantier and Frankie Montas. Why not go with neither of them? Go with a more sure thing in a Joe Musgrove. So that's why the Diamondbacks are going to do that trade. And then here's a look at the new rotation. Now, remember, Taijuan Walker is hurt, and he's going to be hurt for another 1 to 2 months or so. So that's why John Duplantier is the number 5 starter for now. But when Taijuan Walker's back, there are going to be 3 wrong relievers in this bullpen. Now that Matt Andriese is listed as a wrong reliever because of Reyes Maranta taking his spot as a middle reliever. So as you can see, everything gets full circle here. And this Diamondbacks pitching staff has a lot of arms in the bullpen, a lot of guys who they could go to. The only problem I would say is there aren't that many bench pads, only 3. Rob Robertson, Pavin Smith, and Carson Kelly. So Arizona may need to get some bench bats, and their new little team goes 4-1 to start after the trade deadline. So now it's Joe Musgrove time. His debut as a Diamondback is going to be here against the Milwaukee Brewers here at Chase Field. The Brewers sort of a fringe team at this point, 57 and 56, and be very close NL Central Division. Here's a look at Musgrove on the year, 8-5, 3.56 ERA with the Pittsburgh Pirates this season. And the leadoff hitter for the Brewers, Corey Ray, he's going to give him a proper welcome to Arizona, as Ray, the former Louisville Cardinal, will take that one deep into right field, and the Brew Crew take a quick 1-0 lead. That happened suddenly. And then here's Ben Gamel going down on the slider, Musgrove's first K as a Diamondback, and then Christian Yelich would go down as well, the former NL MVP. So now 2 outs for Jesus Aguilar, and he's going to go shopping deep into left, back, and it is gone. As Aguilar gets that one over the fence, Brewers make it 2-0, as it'll be Zach Davies on the mound. He's not been good this year, but I guess he theoretically could be worse. 5-9, 5.07 ERA. As Mike Moustakas better double check that one. The former Brewer doesn't like the call right there. And then now on to the third inning, as the Brewers get a nice out. However, the next batter will be Mookie Betts, who gets a single into center. So that'll put 2 runners on, 1 out. Very interesting opportunity right here for Marcell Ozuna. Now with 2 outs, that one will get by the diving glove of Christian Yelich for a single. And the bases are juiced, kind of, but not really, as Wellington Castillo did not realize there was 2 outs, so he stopped, and then Ozuna got confused. There was just some miscommunication on the base passes, as Joe Musgrove is starting to get onto a groove. He gets Jesus Aguilar there, and then nice play at the hot corner from Mike Moustakas. However, Yasmani Grandal would be safe. It wouldn't matter as Orlando Arcia would strike out at the slider. So now bottom 4, here's David Peralta. He would ground out to second, as the Brewers looking good through 4. Zach Davies has looked dominant here. There's Corey Ray striking out. Nice little revenge from Musgrove, ending the 5th inning for him. And then Ben Gamel, the hat trick, his 3rd strikeout of the game. And now later in the 6th inning, the ladies are yelling for Yelich. That's Christian Yelich with the ground rule double. But it wouldn't matter too much, as that's Yasmani Grandal flying out to center. Under it is Nick Williams. So the Diamondbacks get out of a tiny jam. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. Here's Moose. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, a little bit of a revenge game for him against his old team, as he's going to slide into second, shop and gap for a no-out double. This could prove to be trouble for Milwaukee. And then look at this, as there was some confusion on the base passes. Very nice play by Moustakas to fake out the Brewer defense. Ozuna heads to first, but it wouldn't matter, as Jake Lamb would end up grounding into a 3-6-2 double play. So now let's go 7th inning. That's Marcell Ozuna with an incredible grab out there, using his reflexes to make that play. Musgrove still in the game. He'd actually go 8 innings. This will be his final at bat over Christian Yelich. 8 innings, 2 earned runs, double-digit strikeouts. Pretty good debut for Musgrove, if you ask me, other than that first inning. But his bats are just not giving him the run support. So now bottom 8, here's Nicky Williams. He is pinch hitting. He got the start off on this one, as he would strike out, so whoop-de-doo. And then there's Mookie Betts. Usually plays second base for this team. He is playing the outfield today, his normal position, since Williams isn't playing. Moustakas goes down looking, and then now on to the 9th inning, Reyes Maranta is in. His first appearance as a D-back is Yasmani Grandal. He's just a window shopper because he's just looking. So now bottom 9, Jose Alvarado, the former Tampa Bay Ray, is in for the save. He is 26 on the year, trying to get 27. Is Jake Lamb with that one, and that will get by the glove of Brett Lowry. It doesn't really get by his glove, he just bobbles it, so that'll put the tying runner on, or the tying run up at the plate, Marcus Semien. And the Brewers infield has more chemistry than a science project, turning the double play. Rob Robertson, the last hope for the Diamondbacks. He keeps the game alive with a single, so that'll bring up David Peralta. And that one has a chance, pretty deep in the right, but it would be caught, ending the ball game. And the Brew Crew get the dub by a final score of 2-0. Very dominant outing in this one from Zach Davies. Joe Musgrove didn't play bad, but his bats were just not there for him. And now about a week later, the Diamondbacks head out to a rainy Citizens Bank ballpark as a rematch of last year's in a wild card game. Of course, the Phillies ended up winning that one. They're only 58-60, not quite the start they wanted. As on the mound for the home Phillies would be Nick Pivetta, 6-8, 4.84 ERA. He has not been too good this season. And the Diamondbacks would get right to work as Nick Williams, the former Philly, with a lead-off single. That'll put a quick runner on. And then Mike Moustakas draws a walk. So now 2 runners on with 1 out. That'll bring up Marcell Ozuna. That gets by the glove of a left fielder, loading the bases. And that'll bring up Jake Marietta Lamb. Jake Lamb deep into center. The first grand slam in-game in this entire series, if I'm not mistaken. And the D-backs will go out to a quick 4-0 lead. If this was in Arizona, you'd be hearing MVP chants right now, and well-deserved. On the mound of this one for the D-backs will be Joe Musgrove, his second start with the team. His first one was solid. He ended up getting the loss, but it wasn't really his fault, as he does get Jean Segura going down on that one. And then Bryce Harper would go down as well. Harper's been very good this year for the Phillies, but he would have a pair of Ks today, as there is Ozuna with a walk in the 3rd inning. And then guess who it is going yard again? Jake Lamb. This guy is unstoppable. His second home run of the day. He now has 6 RBIs. That would end Pivetta's day after just 2 2/3 innings. That's all because of Jake Lamb, baby. And then the Diamondbacks would try to continue rolling. That one is Marcus Semien. It goes to the wall. The center fielder misplays it, and that'll be a triple for Semien. Not many players can get to third base as quickly as him. There aren't many guys in baseball who are as good as hitting triples as he does. However, David Peralta would fly out to Nick Senzel, ending the frame. But the D-backs with a powerful 6-0 lead. Phillies are going to need some big innings here. That's Jean Segura with a 2-out double, trying to give Philadelphia a little bit of momentum. Just anything at this point would help out this team, but it doesn't really matter, as that'll be a flyout over to David Peralta, ending the 3rd inning. D-backs on cruise control early in this one. So now into the 4th inning. That's Joe Musgrove at the dish, and that one was maybe about a foot away from being a home run. Instead, that'd only be a single. That would have been his first career home run. As still a base hit's fun for a pitcher, but that one almost went yard, for Christ's sakes. Doesn't really matter, as Moustakas would ground out to shortstop, but still, that was pretty cool. But Musgrove almost had a home run. So now, bottom of the 4th, Philly's going to get another double right there into right center. Pretty much exact same placing that it was in the last inning. Nice shot right there, and then Nick Senzel would draw a walk. So the bases are now juiced for Christian Vasquez, and he walks on a low and outside sinker. It looked like a strike, but they're going to call it a ball. The inning would end, however, as the long reliever Cole Irwin goes down swinging. But the Phillies do score a run because of some questioning umpiring. I don't really get the call once again. There's Jake Lamb, more blind than Helen Keller. He does not go get his hat trick here in the 5th inning. And then later in the 5th inning, Jean Segura going to try to show off the wheels. But Mike Moustakas says, not on my turf, even though it's not really his turf. And then Odubel Herrera would strike out. That's Reyes Maranta in the game, by the way. Musgrove only went 5 innings. He was getting a little bit tired. And then Nick Senzel would strike out as well. Maranta looking good early on as a D-back. It's now 7th inning. Nick Williams up at the dish. Jean Segura with a great play at short. Williams does beat the throw. Then Moustakas is walked. Interesting opportunity here for the Diamondbacks, as that would bring up Marcell Ozuna. Shop and gap. Pair of runs would score. This game is now 8-1 as the Diamondbacks with a commanding lead. But we're not done yet, baby. There's still plenty more to come, and it would come off the bat of the shortstop, Marcus Semien. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a bomb. And the Diamondbacks will put double digits in the run column. Now 10-1. Semien's 21st home run of the year, as he drives in himself and Ozuna, and it's now 10-1. Not looking good for the Phillies, and things get even worse as Jake Lamb makes a nice play at first, tagging out for runner. That was Lorenzo Cain up at the dish as a pinch hitter. So now 8th inning, Diamondbacks want to continue to run. Moustakas almost gets that one over the fence. Would have made it 13-1, but Bryce Harper is there to make the play. So now let's go to the 9th inning. The last hope for the Phillies is Nick Senzel, and he'd keep him alive. A home run for Senzel. Note, that was Lucius Summers who pitched it, continuing his struggles. But it wouldn't really matter too much as the following batter, Christian Vasquez, the former the former Boston Red Sox catcher, will go down looking. Diamondbacks get the win 10-2. Solid outing in this one from Joe Musgrove. 13 innings, 3 earned runs so far. That's quite solid. The bats were great in this game. 2 home runs from Jake Lamb, including a grand slam. Simeon also went yard in this one. And the D-backs with a nice road win.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Loving plastic, it's fantastic. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination, life is your creation.
Yo, hey, man!